Hi, my name is Olivia Bird, and the ESOL strategy that I used in my lesson was 20 seconds to think. For my second video, I think one of the biggest changes I made was planning my lesson around my ESOL strategy rather than creating a lesson and trying to add it in afterwards. Also, with this video, I made sure that the camera wasn't stationary, it was moving around, and that the students and myself could be heard throughout. I incorporated meeting the needs of my ELL student by making sure to clearly define the strategy that I was using, which I didn't necessarily do in the first video, and also by having the instruction written on the smartboard as well as delivering it verbally, and having the student sit close to both myself and the board in order to fully understand the directions. So I think the changes that I made were successful. I think by moving the camera around, myself and the students could be heard, and you could really see the interaction between them as well as hear it. And overall, I thought this teaching strategy was incredibly beneficial, and I thought this teaching activity was incredibly beneficial. I especially liked how there were 2 video assignments. It gave me a chance to make mistakes and reflect on those mistakes, as well as receive feedback. And the feedback given really helped me to improve my lesson, and it went much more smoothly the second time around. It was slightly difficult to really show think time or 20 seconds to think, but I'm happy with the way the lesson turned out, and so was my cooperating teacher, so that was great. And I think this was a valuable lesson, and it makes me want to record myself teaching more often in the future. Okay, so to start off today, we're going to be going over what we read over spring break about the progressive movement and the economic and social consequences of that. So who remembers anything that they read? Anybody? Alec, thank you.
I remember that there was 3 different economic crises between.
So what we're going to do now is we have a couple of questions, and we are going to, in order to answer these questions, we're going to take think time, which is kind of like time allotted for everybody to have an equal opportunity to process the information and really think about the question. So for this time, it's your time. Everyone needs to be silent and really think about it, and make sure that even if you have already come up with your answer, remember that we want to respect all of our peers and give them the same opportunity. So we're going to take 20 seconds to think about each question. The first question is going to be, what was the impact of mass immigration on U.S. society between 1875 and 1900? So you're going to take these next 20 seconds to silently think about this question. Alright, so now for this next 2 minutes, as a table, you're going to come up with a consensus on what answer you want to have for this. So you're going to discuss with your group and come up with one answer. How do you guys think the economy impacted?
It would increase it, or you would help it because as industrialization increases, because there would be more opportunities for jobs and new cities.
So now, we're going to take 1 minute and write down our thoughts on that. Kind of get them organized. If you have your notes, you can utilize those. What was the impact of mass immigration on U.S. society between 1875 and 1900? Once we have our answers written down, we're going to take 2 minutes and break it up into 30-second increments. So each person is going to have 30 seconds to, they're going to stand up and let their table know what their answer was. So we'll start with seat 1.
I said that during this time the Industrial Revolution was happening and they needed low-wage workers to work in the factories.
Alright, so everyone should have had a chance to share their answer. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing we just did. This time we're going to evaluate the impact of rapid industrialization on American society in the period 1875 through 1900. So again, you're going to have 20 seconds to think about this. So, who wants to share what their table came up with?
We said that there was a lot of positives. I mean, there was a few positives, but a lot of negatives because although it did increase the employment rate, so many people relied on it, and that's what happened with the banks because we were industrializing and we were this is good, it's happening, and then they would go bankrupt and then all our banks would fall, and that's what happened with the panic of 1873.
We said that it helped the economy because it was able to boost the industry and they were gaining money from that, but it hurt the social life because of urbanization and everything.
Awesome. Yes.
Good.